So how do we bend up parts from DXFs that don't have any bending information? So a lot of companies still have DXFs like this, especially if they've been around for a while. And I'm going to show you how to add bending information to a flat DXF in NCX so that we can bring it into modern bending software such as Master Bend Cam and form the part up. Typically when we're working with 3D solid models, this isn't an issue at all. We get the bending information with the solid. But these old DXFs are missing a lot of information, but I'm going to show you how we can add that with the Flange profile tool. So we'll jump to NCX, and within NCX I've imported my 2D DXF, and you can see it's a simple outline with some holes. And first thing we'll do is save the part. So with the part saved, we can then go to our unfolding screen, and then we can go to the 2D import and bring the part in. So our part is here. We have a silver side and a blue side, the blue side being the top of the sheet if it's being punched, so we can determine if the bends are up or down at this stage. Of course, we can change that later if we like. So the first thing we'll do is create the Flange profile. So the Flange profile tool comes up, and it's a dialog box with a selection of features. The first thing we're going to do is create our first profile. So if you remember, old drawings would have this crisscross pattern sketched onto them that show the operator or the press brake operator what flanges are supposed to be on each of the sides. That's essentially what we're doing here. We're going to create these two flange profiles, one across the long side and one across the short side. So we'll create our first flange profile. First thing we do is select an edge. So we'll select one far edge here and the other edge here. So that's across the length of the part. We have a base face, and it's giving us the dimension here. So now I've got these two buttons, and I can add a flange either side of the base face. So I'll add a flange to the left and a flange to the right. And you can see that these flanges have popped up already. We have some bend information and a bend line. But they're not accurate, or they're not what we want, so we can modify them here. So we know that this first one that we put in on the left is supposed to be a 1/2 inch flange, and so we at least have a sketch that tells us what's supposed to be here. So we'll hit 0.5 inches, and that puts that flange in. And then the second flange, and you'll see it change as I type it in here. We'll set the second flange to 0.75. Okay, so it all looks good, and you can see we've got some 3D representation of the flange that shall appear. Now we'll add another flange profile, and this is going to be across the short side of the part. So we'll pick a long face, we'll select the edge, pick a long face, select the other edge, here to here. One bend, and control click and select another bend. Any changes I make to the dimensions, the angle or the length of the flanges, will be applied to all of the selected bends. So both of these are going to be 0.75. And that's done. So with that, we can now go back to File, and it's asking to import the new information. And here's our part with the bend lines on it. The next step will be to go to Master Bend Cam. So let's transition to Master Bend Cam. In Master Bend Cam, I've imported the flat part with the bend information. Software has already determined where the suction cups are to load it, and it's already got it in the gripper. So I'll do short side cycle and just automatically create a program. So very quickly, simple part, the program is done. I can select my bender process and push the simulation, and we can watch the tooling get set up, and the first short side is bent, then the second short side, and then the two long sides are done. So very simple part, and I was able to take a legacy DXF that didn't have bend information, apply good bend information to it, and export that as the file format required for modern 3D bending software. So that's Flange Profile. Thanks for watching.